Hello students, welcome to the class of Web Technology. Today let us discuss about table and form accessibility. So web accessibility mainly refers to the assistive technologies or various features of HTML that work with these technologies and different coding and design practices that can make a site more usable for people with visual, mobile, auditory, and cognitive disabilities. So, in order to improve this accessibility of websites, the W3C organization created the Web Accessibility Initiative (WAI) in the year 1997. So, this WAI they produce certain guidelines and recommendations. So, what are they? One is provide alternate text alternatives for any non-text content so that it can be changed into other forms people need, such as large print or braille system, speech, symbols, or simpler language. Another thing is create content that can be presented in different ways without losing the information or structure, and also make all the functionality available from a keyboard, and also provide the ways to help users navigate, find the content, and determine where they are. So these are the guidelines. Now, how it is accessible for the tables. So, for in the case of tables, use tables only for tabular data and not for layout. The following accessibility features of tables are: first one, describe the table's content using the caption element. So this mainly provides the user with the ability to discover what the table is about before having to listen to the content. So that is the main advantage of caption. Then connect the cells with a textual description in the header. Next topic we'll see is the micro formats. So what is this micro format? It is a small pattern of your HTML markup and attributes to represent common blocks of information such as people or events or news stories, so that the information in them can be extracted and indexed by software agents. So you can see here the micro format information, that is HNews, micro format information HCard. So server is harvesting the micro format information, website aggregating all the HNews information from different websites. So we have an HCard. So one of the most common micro formats is HCard. So used to semantically mark up contact information for a person. And you have seen the Google Map search results. They now make use of this HCard micro format, so that if you use the appropriate browser extension, you could save the information to your computer or phone's contact list. So all this is possible. So you can see an example of an HCard here. So div class is equal to vcard. So here we are actually storing the address, isn't it? Street address, locality, region, postal code, country name. Okay. Now let us move on to advanced CSS. So we'll see about the normal flow here. Normal flow means how the browser will normally display block level elements and inline elements from left to right and top to bottom. So we have two types here. One is block level elements and another one is the inline elements. Now block level elements are like your p tag, div tag, h2 tag, table tag. Okay, so they are contained on their own line. So because of block level elements, they begin with a line break. That is they start on a new line. So without styling. So two block level elements can also exist on the same line. Block level elements, they use the normal CSS box model. So we have discussed that in that you have the margins, paddings, borders. So here you can see, look at the figure of block level elements. So h1 tag, ul tag, p tag, div tag, h2 tag, p tag. So they are contained on their own line. You can see. So each block exists on its own line and is displayed in normal flow from the browser's Windows top to its bottom. It goes like that. Okay. Inline elements is they do not form their own blocks. You don't have their own blocks, but instead are displayed within lines. So inline elements line up next to one another horizontally from left to right on the same line. So if there is no enough space on the line left, the content moves to a new line. So you can see here, this is the example for your inline element. Paragraph tag you have, then text tag. So here you can see that the inline elements, img tag, a tag, strong tag, they are not appearing in blocks. So inline content is laid out horizontally left to right within its container. So if the browser window resizes, then inline content will be reflowed based on the new width. So here the content of this P element, okay, is now displayed on 3 lines. You can see the same thing, previous one. Here you are resizing the browser's window, so it will be split into 3 lines here. So in a document with normal flow, block level elements and inline elements also work together. Block level elements will flow from top to bottom, as I've said, while inline elements flow from left to right within a block. So if a block contains other block, the same behavior happens. So the block flows from top to bottom of the block. So you can see here, it is a mix of block elements and inline elements. Block elements and inline elements. So here this is your block element H1 and inline is here span. Again block element P, and this all are inline. img strong a tag. Again paragraph tag is closed, then div tag is open. H2 paragraph tag, all these are block elements. So the flow is from top to bottom, but here, yeah, flow is from top to bottom. Clear? Okay. Thank you.